What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Dream Wager, March 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, our NBA guru, Elvis Akos. How you doing, kid?
I'm doing great, Dill. Let it rain, let it rain. All this money's getting thrown around in the NFL. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. We'll get into all that NFL news in just a bit. We'll recap our weekend. Elvis got some NBA plays for you. I got a college hoops play as well. And we got a great interview with Sean Sprawling to preview and break down the WBC starting tomorrow. So before we get into all that news and much more, Elvis, how was your weekend? Last 7 days. Talk to me. How you doing?
Last 7 days, Dill. We doing okay. Not the best, but last 7 days, 14 and 13. Slightly above water. Yesterday, 2-1. So I'm not gonna be too emotional about it, Dill, but once again, slightly above water.
Yeah, last 7 days for me, I am 26 and 19, up 4 units. Yesterday, broke even 1-1. The other day, I went 6-1. But NBA has actually been pretty good to me, especially my Knicks. 9 in a row.
Most wins consecutively since Melo's Knicks in 2013. So good job there, Dill. Knicks tape running, surprising a lot of teams now. I gotta admit it.
Great win on the road against a really good Celtics team. Without Jalen Brunson, quickly was in his bag. Besides the Knicks and his hot streak, what'd you make of that Suns-Mavs game over the weekend? You know, D-Book and Luka, they got into it. I think we need to see a playoff series between these two.
Hopefully, Dill. Hopefully, we do get that playoff series, Dill, because that will be one for the ages, Dill. Quickly, Dill, that was a great game overall. When you have 4 top 15 players in one game, it's going to be special. And you're going to have an offensive juggernaut on display. And that's what we saw, Dill. We saw 2 offensive heavyweights go at it with Luka and Kyrie, and then with Devin Booker and Durant. Devin Booker and Durant give you 30-plus points each. Luka chipped in with 30-plus. I think Kyrie had somewhere in the mid-20s. Don't know the exact amount, Dill, but when you have that much offensive firepower, Dill, it's just exciting to watch. That's what a fan wants to tune in and see, Dill. That explosive offense, Dill. No defense was played. None. And guess what? It's okay. It was just a regular season game, people, on a Sunday at 12 o'clock.
So, you hit your parlay, though.
Yeah, nice little parlay, same game parlay. Testing them back out again. Nice little hit one there. And as a fan, because, Kyrie left the Nets.
Yeah.
KD left the Nets. So it was a little bittersweet for me watching those two play at such a high elite level for different teams. But as just a basketball fan, it was great to watch.
It was great to watch. And, I love Luka and his little, he's kind of the villain, which I love. He goes, hey, don't talk shit towards the end of the game. If you want to talk shit, start from the beginning. I kind of like that from him.
I respect that because he's talking facts. And now Devin Booker is really going to talk because we all know Devin Booker, you're not the, what Charles always said, you're not the bus driver of the team. Kevin Durant is the bus driver. So now he's never going to face the best defender against the opposing team. He's always going to face the second best. And I think that's going to be a little boost for him. We've seen him since KD came in. He's averaging about 30 points a game. And it's always going to be one player on that team who's going to be wide open, especially when Chris Paul is commanding the offense.
I think we could make an argument even before Kevin Durant was on the team, he wasn't even the leader. I could argue Chris Paul was the leader.
No, yes, absolutely. But the definitive best player was Devin Booker.
Talent-wise, Devin Booker, absolutely. But
now,
general leader of the team, I could argue it's Chris Paul.
I could say, it's Chris Paul right now. I'm not saying Kevin Durant is the leader. All I'm saying is Devin Booker is no longer that top dog of his team. So, he's going to talk a little more smack because now he knows I don't have to do it to you. I got this 7-foot monster that could do it to you. And I could just sit at the corner, and if he passes the ball, I could do my thing. But guess what? 8 out of 10 times, he's going to do it for me.
And I'm not going to have the best defender on me as well. So to your point, I agree 100%. I think he's the one benefited the most from this Kevin Durant trade because like you said, all I've seen from him, 30. He's a bucket right now. So watch out for his player.
You ended up you muted yourself, Dale.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I don't know how that happened. But, so I think Devin Booker, he really evolved when Kevin Durant got traded to the team. So you like to see that. But XFL, still undefeated. It was a great weekend for the XFL. Swept the board again. Elvis, how did you do?
Dill, I think I went 1-1. So the Houston Roughnecks -4, and then I think the Orlando. I think I lost to Orlando, Dill. So I think 1-1. Last week went 1-1. So far 2-2 with the XFL. No, 3-2. I won two games last week. Yeah. So 3-2 so far on the XFL. Like I said, I want to dabble more into it. I appreciate that Dylan is taking the rings and he's really dabbling in and giving you some real life stats on the XFL. I got to catch up. I got to do my due diligence still. And it is exciting to watch. I just got to sit down and really start paying attention.
Josh Gordon's in it. AJ McCarron. Like, you got some, I don't want to say wash because that sounds derogatory, but
these are kids. We got people playing that we watched religiously
growing up
7-8 years ago.
Yeah. My Sea Dragons, I just took all favorites. Sea Dragons -3. What a comeback win by Ben DiNucci. What a guy.
What a throw to Josh.
What a throw. DC Defenders, there was no doubt. There was actually a fight that broke out after the game, so you'll love to see it. And then the Houston Roughnecks, that might be my team as well. I am adopted. They're dominant.
You got the Sea Dragons, I got the Roughnecks. See you in the Super Bowl.
So 3-0. It was a great week overall for the XFL, but yeah, let's dive into it because there was so much football news going on within just the last 48 hours. We'll start with Derek Carr. He signs a 4-year contract with the New Orleans Saints, which now means an end of an era for my guy, Jameis Winston. And it seems like every team in the NFL's NFC South will have a different quarterback here. So what are your thoughts on the signing, and do you think it's a good fit for him?
Real quick, I just want to address, there's a lot of noise coming out saying that a lot of people don't like the signing. Guess what? I'm letting you know right now, the Saints might have just won the division signing Derek Carr. The division is a bad division. Let's start there. Saints might have just the best defense in the division. So I think it was the best move they could have made. Yes, he's not Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he's not these other guys. But Derek Carr could lead this team to a division title, though. And I think if the Saints go out, win a division, host a playoff game, possibly wins that game, and then lose in the second round, I think that's a successful season, Dill, if you ask me. So do I love it? No. But do I like it a lot? Yes, Dill. I think the Saints will be better than they were last season. We all know Taysom Hill is not a quarterback. Jameis, I personally like Jameis, but Jameis is a turnover machine, and it seems like he can't stay healthy these past 2 seasons. And then I think it was Trevor Siemian? Was it Trevor Siemian?
No, they had Andy Dalton.
Yeah, Andy Dalton. Yeah, so it was Andy Dalton, Taysom Hill, and
Jameis Winston.
They're not it. Andy Dalton had a game or two, but let's be real, Dill. The Saints will be better this upcoming season with Derek Carr at the helm. So, yes, I do like it.
Yeah, I like it in the sense that that was the best available quarterback for them. I didn't think they were going to go through the draft. I don't think Jimmy G's the answer for them. They weren't in on Aaron Rodgers. They're not in on Lamar. So, yeah, I do like it. I read the same thing. A lot of people don't like it, but I kind of like it. I mean, you're right. They have the best defense in the league, in the division. And yeah.
And real quick, they might have the best quarterback in the division.
They do. I was just going to list it because I said, hey, every team is going to have a different quarterback. The Buccaneers, Kyle Trask, he will start from the University of Florida. The Panthers, they have Matt Corral and Jacob Easton. And then in the Falcons, they have Logan Woodside and that guy Desmond Ridder that they drafted from Cincinnati. And then the only 2 quarterbacks for the Saints, you got Jameis Winston, who they're probably going to release and cut because he's a salary cap issue. And then just Derek Carr. So clearly they have the best quarterback. I think they have the best defense as well. So, yeah, really bad division, and I do expect the Saints to win. If they don't win the division, oh, my God. It's going to be hell to pay.
It's a fireball effect.
Yeah, so he did have interest. He said he was leaning with the Jets, and you got to think the Jets I guess they think they're in a position to get Aaron Rodgers because you just don't let a guy who I think is the best free agent quarterback available just sign with a different team. They've had to have some inclination like, hey, we have a really good chance at Rodgers. We'll let Carr sign with whoever he wants, which was the Saints. Is that a fair assessment?
It has to be Dill just because we saw the Jets and Derek Carr with Robert Saleh have dinner or some type of lunch, a brief meeting or whatever. I'm not sure if there were contract talks on the table, but clearly they were having lunch or dinner about something, Dill. So there was definitely some interest there. Dill, you point blank, Dill, you signed Nathaniel Hackett as your OC for a reason. He has to bring it home. He couldn't do it last season with Denver. Hey, this is the year you bring Aaron Rodgers with you. You got to get that job done if you're Nathaniel Hackett. Robert
Yeah.
Saleh and Nathaniel Hackett and GM, they have to push through Aaron Rodgers. There's no ifs, ups, or ands still. If you don't sign Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel Hackett, and this upcoming season honestly, would possibly be a failure.
Yeah. And literally hours before he signed with New Orleans, there was a report that Derek Carr was favoring the Jets. He goes, "Hey, this is probably my number one team that I'm interested in." But then they probably came back and said, "Hey, our number one is probably Aaron Rodgers." To be honest, they're meeting with him right now as we speak in California. They got permission. Woody Johnson, the owner, Robert Saleh, our GM, Joe Douglas, they're talking to Aaron Rodgers right now. So you expect something to happen because we have all these domino effects. And these are his words. He said, "Hey, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting around. I'm going to give you my decision pretty soon." So I think within this next week, maybe 2 weeks, something's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. So
it definitely has to happen before the draft, though.
Yeah, 100%. Another guy I'm really happy for, Geno Smith, man. He went out there last year. He balled out. He improved so much. Saints took a chance on him, and they said, "Hey, this is our guy for the next 3 years." Signed him to a 3-year contract, $105 million. He's guaranteed $52 million this upcoming season. So shout out Geno, man. I think he played his ass off last year. He got a team that was supposed to be rebuilding into the playoffs. So he improved his accuracy. I think a few more pieces under Pete Carroll, and I think Geno is the guy moving forward for them. So thoughts on Geno's new contract, and do you think the Seahawks will eventually stick with him?
They'll stick with him. We'll see about that. Geno's been in the league for a couple years now. This is a 3-year deal, so we'll see how he looks in 3 years from now, Dill. But real quick, Dill, I think it was a great signing. Both sides, $35 million a year. I think Geno Smith could have won Comeback Player of the Year last year. Did he win Comeback Player of the Year last year? Not sure. But Geno Smith has such a great season. I think it's the perfect fit. A lot of teams, this guy here. I think the perfect fit is for Geno Smith is Seattle. You have a pretty good running game. You got the young kid. You got Penny's going to be coming back from injury as well. You got DK. You got Tyler Lockett. And then the defensive side is it's not as good as it once was, Dill, but it still has a pretty good defense on the opposite side, Dill. So if Geno Smith doesn't turn the ball over like he did this season, they could possibly make the playoffs once again, Dill. So I love the signing, and I like the Seahawks moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. I like that moving forward. Yeah, I agree on defense. I think they need to clean some things up on defense. They got a really good stud in Kenneth Walker the second, the running back out of Michigan State. They have wide receivers. They have tight ends. I think they need to shore up the offensive line a little bit and get some linebackers. But other than that,
they got 2 first-round picks this season, Dill.
Exactly.
So they're going to get a stud on the offensive line, and then see if they can add a linebacker or a DN.
And under Pete Carroll, I think anything is possible. You got a Hall of Fame coach leading the way, and I think under him, I like Geno's chances to have a good rest of his career. Hopefully, this won't be his last contract. Maybe he'll play it out and earn himself another contract, and I really hope so because everyone wrote him off, but he ain't right back. He's going to the bank right now. So happy for Geno Smith. The Ravens, they've placed the $32.41 million non-exclusive franchise tag on quarterback Lamar Jackson. So that means he's now eligible to negotiate with other teams, but the Ravens do have the right to match any offer he signs or actually take 2 first-round picks in return for him. So Lamar, he now has the ability to go out in the free market, shop around, get the best deal. And, Baltimore, they'll have a chance to match any offer that Jackson gets. So who do you think is going to be in the market? Because there's a lot of teams out already that said, "Hey, we're not in for Lamar. We got our guy, and we're just going to go a different route. We're going to go through the draft like Carolina, Indianapolis." So who do you think he goes with, or do you think he just plays under the tag this year?
The way he's looking, it's coming out. It's these 5 teams already said they're not interested in Lamar. The Atlanta Falcons, the Miami Dolphins, Carolina Panthers, the Washington Commanders, and the Raiders. Me personally, I would have given Miami a shot, the Raiders a shot, and I also like the Colts in there. The Colts could land Lamar Jackson. Hey, they could possibly, make some noise in they could possibly make some noise and possibly win that division deal. But those 5 teams, though, Atlanta, to me, that would have fit right just because, his favorite target was Mark Andrews, and you got Kyle Pitts in Atlanta. You got Ridley coming back. You got Chris Olave. So it makes sense to go to
Calvin Ridley, Jaguars.
Is coming back. Oh, he is? Oh, Jaguars. Oh, yeah, you're right. He did get traded to the Jaguars. But still, you got Chris Olave. You got a number 1 tight end at just a Kyle Pitts. I just feel like Atlanta would have been the right choice, especially with them. They have a ton of cap space. Dennis Ritter is not it. Hey, they're probably going to try their chances in the draft. By all means, good luck to you. But I give Colts a shot, Dill. I think the Colts are just a quarterback away. We saw them. They're eager to win. They got Jonathan Taylor, so they don't need to rely on Lamar Jackson's leg as much when you have top 5 running back. The defense is top 10-ish. And then you could go out and sign a right receiver, too. I like the young pieces they have there on the receiver side, like your boy Pittman. But still, I'm kind of shocked Atlanta Commanders and Raiders are going to make a snag at Lamar.
Yeah, I think they're really in on Desmond Ritter, to be honest. I think that's his guy. They think they want to at least give it a shot another year or two with Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, because a lot of these teams saw the jump Jalen Hurts did from his 2nd to 3rd year. So they're hoping, hey, maybe if we just give him an extra year, maybe he can make that jump too. Look at Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones wasn't this guy he was last season 2 years ago. So maybe a lot of teams and GMs are going to be a little more patient with these quarterbacks coming out.
100%. And I don't know about the Colts. I think, just like what I was saying earlier, I think some teams like the Colts, the Panthers, the Texans weren't involved. But
Texans got 2 top 10 picks. I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to go through the draft. And this year, there are really good quarterbacks. Got Will Levis, who they're comparing him to a bigger Josh Allen. So you got Bryce Young. We worry about his height and hands, but I kid.
You got C.J. Stroud.
Stroud. You got some ballers.
Houston is going to get a top either C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young.
And
no ifs or ands. They're going to get one of the 2.
And Chicago is going to trade the number 1 pick because they're
Now, will Carter go, will Anderson, or will somebody just come up and draft a quarterback?
I think someone's going to give the Bears the hole for the 1st round pick. And I don't think they're going to go back too much. I think maybe they'll flip with 3, they'll flip with 4. So they'll still get a top player, 5, excuse me. So I don't know. There's a lot to go on. I think
they're saying the Colts might move up from 4 to 1.
That's what I'm saying. They might get it, and then you could still get Will Anderson at 4. Yeah. You get Will Anderson. He's the best player, I think. I think he's the best player in the draft, not quarterback-wise.
Him and Carter, the dude from Georgia,
he's a problem. He's a problem. But, Lamar's very interesting, man. I don't think a lot of teams – we're going to see what the market really is for Lamar now. We're going to see what teams are willing to pay him, and they're going to call Baltimore's bluff. Hey, do you want him this bad? We're going to offer him X, Y, and Z.
Shit, I hope the Patriots make an offer. We're going to have to pay Mac Jones either next season or if not, move forward with Lamar Jackson. I'd rather take Lamar for the next 4 seasons than Mac Jones, me personally.
There are rumbles, don't quote me on this, but there are rumbles out there that the Raiders, they're not in on Lamar or any other quarterback. They might go and make a trade for Mac Jones because of his connection with Josh Daniels.
Hey, give us a 1st round pick. And then we'll
you got your boy Zappy. You good.
And then we give 2 1st round picks to Baltimore, and that's it.
You're good. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And if the Jets strike out with Aaron Rodgers, I think they have to throw it at Lamar. They have to. So it'll be interesting. But one quarterback that did get paid today, Daniel Jones and the Giants, they agree on a 4-year long-term deal, $160 million, $82 million guaranteed. They used their franchise tag on Saquon Barkley. He's getting around $10.2 million a year. So What do you think of Daniel Jones? Do you think it's too much? Because I was dead wrong. I said the range 35 to 37. He got a little more than that. But what are your thoughts on Daniel Jones' deal and them eventually tagging Saquon?
Still, I know it's a huge mess, huge controversy about it. A lot of people hate it. Some people love it. Me, personally, I think it's a fair deal for both sides. I think Daniel Jones, I wouldn't say he's overpaid, but he's definitely not underpaid. Still, this is just what the going rate is for a playoff caliber quarterback. That's just what it is. Not everybody's Patty Mahomes who's going to take a 10 year 10-year friendly team friendly deal. No. Don't get me wrong. Should Patty Mahomes only make about 500,000 more than Daniel Jones? No. But hey, that's Patty Mahomes' decision to make. I think Daniel Jones and the New York Giants, I think they got a fair deal. When you got Daniel Jones who possibly can be a top 10 quarterback. We saw him that one great game in Minnesota. We saw him shit the bed in Philly. I'll give you that, Dill. But if he could be consistent, I think they'll get a great deal on Daniel Jones at $40 million a year. Do I love it? No, but this is the going rate for a quarterback. You're not going to be able to sign somebody. I'm going to be honest. I don't think you'll be able to sign somebody else in a free agency that's going to lead you into the playoffs for cheaper. That's my thing. Yeah, you possibly could have got Derek Carr, but Derek Carr, is he more of an upgrade than Daniel Jones? No, not really. So I personally, I think it's a great move for each side. I don't think the Giants stole him, but I don't think he's that overly paid as well. And now with Saquon. We know the running back position is devalued now. And that's what's going on. To me, Saquon deserves a long-term deal, about, $12 to $15 million a year. Now, looking like the franchise tag, he's only going to get about 10, 11 mil, whatever it is. And I think after the season, he's gone. So I think the Giants kind of shot themselves in the foot. I think they should have been at least trying to keep Saquon and Daniel Jones together as long as possible, because we saw how good that worked this season when Saquon was healthy. So I think the Giants just shot themselves in the foot, and maybe Saquon will be in the trade market value come the NFL trade deadline.
Yeah, apparently he's not happy. He wanted a long-term contract. He thought he deserved it. They eventually prioritized the quarterback position, which I can't blame an organization for doing. Do I like the contract? It's a head scratcher. I wouldn't pay him $40 million, but I can't argue your point, and it is the going rate for quarterbacks. I think one good year, and hey, we were advocates for Daniel Jones all year on the podcast. I said it time in and time out. I thought he did the most this year, got into the playoffs with practice squad guys. I just don't think 1 year he deserves $40 million. You made the comparison to Derek Carr. Yes, Derek Carr had a bad year. I think we could all agree to that. But I think his body of work has been more consistent than Daniel Jones. Yes, he's been in the league longer, but even if you want to take the sample size into 4 years, I think he's done more in his first 4 years than Daniel Jones did in his first 4 years.
Absolutely, Dale. I agree with you on that, but you got to understand, you got to look at it from the GM perspective. What have you done for me lately? Like you said, Daniel Jones led his team to the playoffs, like you just said, with practice squad guys. Derek Carr had arguably the best wide receiver in football, a top 5 tight end in football, and the running back who led the NFL.
Top 5 running back as well. Let's not.
He was the best.
Yeah.
He led the NFL in rushing. Josh Jacobs. So for the last season, he was the best running back in the league. Devontae is a top 2 wide receiver. Darren Waller is a top 5 tight end when healthy. Still, if you give Daniel Jones those weapons, I'm pretty sure he puts up a little better numbers than Derek Carr does as well.
Yeah, 100%. We'll see. I love and you start to see, I think it's the Daboll effect. You see how good Daniel Jones improved, and you saw the decline to Josh Allen in Buffalo. So
I want to say decline,
but his numbers went down.
It's a small chance he peaked. I'll give you that. It's a small chance.
I think it's because of Daboll, though.
No, I agree with you, Dale. I just want to say he declined. I would just say he might have hit his ceiling. I wouldn't go that far.
We bring the franchise tag up. I agree. I think Saquon's out after this year. And we'll see how Daniel Jones looks after his best offensive weapon is not in the fold. I think we're starting to see the franchise tag become a running back thing. We've already seen off the top of my head, the Giants, the Raiders, Josh Jacobs got tagged a few days ago, and the
Cowboys.
Cowboys,
Yeah.
Tony Pollard. And that means Zeke's gone. And all that contract, which we could agree we like Zeke, but
I
at the
don't
end of the
think
day,
Zeke's gone. I think they restructured the contract. So
that was an awful contract.
No, yeah, he got him.
So,
Zeke, whoever Zeke Asian is, great job.
You know what it is? He's good friends with Jerry Jones, and that's what it is.
Nah,
And that's
Jerry.
why I wanted
The
to run
thing, the
ball.
problem with Jerry Jones is he takes care of his guys. So if he drafts you, he treats you like a son. You know, that's that old Southern mentality. You know,
Yeah.
he just loves his players, and I love that about Jerry Jones. He didn't think about it, Dill. He didn't have to give Tony Pollard a franchise tag. He didn't have to pay him $10 million. He just broke his leg in the second round of the playoffs in the divisional round. I don't know if there's many teams out there that's willing to pay a running back more than $3-4 million after breaking a leg.
That's what we said. I said, hey, after that injury, and we knew he was going to be out a few months, maybe a year. I said, hey, they might not tag him. Why would you take a risk? But they still did.
And that's why I love Jerry Jones, because he's going to take care of his players. Look, he didn't give Dak Prescott a contract till he broke his leg, and at the moment that was the richest contract signing deal in NFL history. Dak Prescott. Now we look at him take care of Tony Pollard after getting her in the second round with a $10 million contract. And even though I feel like he could have got a long-term deal done for way less, I think that just shows Jerry Jones wants to take care of his players.
100%. Other news that went down, Jags franchise tag Evan Ingram had a hell of a year in Jacksonville. Chiefs, Frank Clark, they couldn't come to agreement. He was actually released. So
he's going to get big money, Dill. He wants big money. He knows he just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is the last time he's going to be eligible for a big contract, because 3-4 years down the road, he's just going to get the veteran minimum.
You mentioned it, Calvin Ridley. He was reinstated by the NFL. He'll be back with the Jaguars. That gives Trevor Lawrence another weapon. So I hope he goes off. I think he's going to ball out after sitting out a whole year for something so stupid. But
I wonder what parlays he's cooking up.
Yeah, I hope he hit all his parlays in the offseason. But yeah, some big news going on in the NFL. We'll be sure to continue covering it. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers, we have news on him. Hopefully, we have news on Lamar as well in the upcoming days. But let's get into these picks. Let's start in the NBA, Elvis. Got a few games here that are about to tip off. You got the Washington Wizards at Pistons. You also have the Bucks at Orlando Magic. Anything quick you have on these two games?
I'm gonna lean the Bucks still, but do I love it? No. If anything, I'm saying, me personally, I'm staying away from this game. No Giannis, no Drew Holiday. Chris Middleton is starting, Dill, and I still think the Bucks could take care of business and win this game, but Orlando was a pesky team, especially at home, Dill. So my heart's saying Orlando, but personally, Dill, I think I'm staying away from it, Dill. But if anything, you gotta lean Bucks, because they've just been on a roll. Even without Giannis, they still managed to get on a 16-game winning streak. I think Giannis only played like 8-9 games.
How about let's go to the Philly game. Philly's on the road taking on the Timberwolves. Timberwolves laying 3 at home. Over-under is at 227.5. James Harden is out. I think that is why. But other than that, what do you like in this game?
Still, I don't even care that James Harden is out. I still like this team. Maxey in the starting lineup. Don't get right. I think James Harden is tremendous. I think he facilitates the ball at an elite level. But this Phillies team should easily be able to sneak out a victory in Minnesota. So give me Philly +3. I see it at +3.5 now. So if you could get the 3.5, get 3.5. And I'm gonna be honest, though, let's sprinkle something on the money line at +130.
Yeah, I love it. Let's go to the best team in the NBA right now. New York Knicks hosting the Charlotte Hornets. Knicks laying 10. I got it at 9.5. I'm gonna lay the 9.5.
You laying it?
I laid the 9.5. I laid the first half -5 as well. I think we blow them out, honestly. So what do you like in this game?
Still, I ended up staying away from it. Remember, no Jalen Brunson. That worries me a little bit. But
against this team?
Still, you didn't let me finish. I said, but. I said, but. You are playing the Hornets. And guess what, though? Let me add a little juice to you. Quickly is now the favorite for 6th man of the year. How you feel about that, though?
It doesn't surprise me. He's the
Fuck out
backup
of
to the
here, bro.
best. He's the backup to the best point guard in the league. We've been I've been on my train saying Jalen Brunson this before the All-Star break. He got snubbed. It's what they do, but they're slowly recognizing greatness.
Mhm.
So it doesn't surprise me. He's probably gonna win Sixth Man of the Year, bring us into the playoffs. It's all looking good here. King of New York. We got our title back after you guys went through your drama, but it's all good, Elvis. I mean, I just put in another bet, a -10, because I'm just gonna keep laying it with the Knicks. So they're the best team right now. So I gotta lay it with them, especially against the Hornets. They're god awful. So gonna lay it. Let's go to your new Brooklyn Nets. They're on the road taking on the Rockets. Nets laying 6.5, over unders at 230.5. Man, my boy Brooklyn Bridges is bugging every game. What I tell you, 30 points, 30 points. Just take his over points. I'm telling you, if he don't score more than 18 points, you guys are losing.
Yeah,
He's going to drop 30 tonight.
He's gonna drop there. No, all seriousness, people. When Miles Bridges goes for over 25 plus points, we win the game. When he goes under 18, we're losing the game. So Dylan is absolutely right, Dill. I'm gonna take Houston. Let me give the Brooklyn Nets -6.5 in Houston. I messed it up. Give me the Nets -6.5 in Houston, Dill. I think we take care of business easily. It wouldn't shock me if we blow them out either.
Yeah, I just took him. So back in the day when I started, not back in the day, like maybe 2 weeks ago when he started to really get himself in gear with the Nets, his point prop was at 18, 19.5. I just took his points prop. It's at 23.5. I got it at 23, but hey, 24, like the books are just going to keep pushing it to like 26, 27. I'm just going to keep betting the over.
I think next season we're going to see Miles Bridges become an all-star, possibly a superstar.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges.
He's gonna get the shots up. If we let him take anywhere from 20 to 30 shots a game, I think he has the capability of becoming an all-star.
And the thing I love about him is he plays both ways. He'll play defense as well.
He's one of the best defenders in the league.
Yep. So let's go out to Oklahoma. Thunder hosting the Golden State Warriors. Warriors laying 4 on the road. Over unders at 244. Steph is back. What do you got in this game?
Give me Golden State -4, Dill. And then I also like Klay Thompson over. He's been averaging 25 points a game since the start of the new year in 2023, Dill. So I will lean his over as well at 22.5. I understand Steph Curry's back, so he might not get as many shots up. So I understand why some people will fade away from there, but I still expect Klay to be the number one option till Steph Curry's at 100%.
Yeah, and if you want to get down on all these projections, Klay Thompson, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, it doesn't matter. All first-time users that deposit and use promo code DreamWager with Prize Picks will receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. You deposit 100, Prize Picks will give you 100. So you pick 2 to 6 players, and if they go score more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you can win up to 25% of your money. So, for example, I'm taking Mikal Bridges more than his points, and so is Elvis. He's taking more points for Klay Thompson. So it's easy. You're not playing against anyone else. You're just playing against the Prize Picks projection. So you can match it up with any sports. If you want to take shots on goal with NHL, college basketball, March Madness is heating up. MLB is right around the corner. So you can pick up to 6 entries per time. So it's easy. Can be made within 60 seconds or less. Safe, fast withdrawals as well. So download Prize Picks, not now, but right now, and join us. Make sure you use promo code DreamWager when you sign up. All right, Elvis, let's get to the next game. Dallas Mavericks laying 10.5 at home. Over unders at 237. You back in the Jazz here as a dog?
Still, I ended up taking it at +9.5. Right now it's at +11.5. I'm gonna take it at +11.5, people. So shop around. I ended up taking the first down 9.5. You know how we love Utah as underdogs on this show, Dill, and I'm gonna keep smashing it. The Mavericks are 2-5 with Kyrie and Luka Doncic. With that being said, give me Utah +11.5, and I'm gonna have to sprinkle a little something on the money line at +450, Dill. When you have a 2-5 record since the start of the All-Star break, Deal, I might have to sprinkle something on the money line on the opposite side. So I put at +450, it got to be worth at least $10 now.
Jordan Clarkson and Walker Kessler are both out for Utah. Maybe that's why it's shooting up. I even see 11 and a halves out there.
I
So
took the 11.5 just now.
yeah, shop around. But like Elvis said, against the number 22-10 as underdogs, Utah. So they're covering machines as dogs. Like we say, you want to back Utah as dogs and not as favorites. So good call on there. I would shop around, get the best number. But let's go on to the Lakers fighting for a playoff spot right now. They
Well,
are home.
technically, they're in the playoffs. Right
Yeah, we'll
now,
see how long that happens. We'll see how long that lasts.
yeah, right now they're tied for ninth on a 4-way tie.
Very winnable game here at home against the Memphis Grizzlies without gunless John Morant. Over unders at 224.5. I didn't have to say that, but I think it was necessary. What do you got?
So I got 3 plays in this one.
So,
Anybody go down to Prize Pick. So I got some procs for you. Then I got a game line for you people. Let's start with the game. Now, give me the Lakers on the money line at home. Deal, like you said, no John Morant, no props, no nothing. So no John Morant. Dylan Brooks is returning off of 1-game suspension for picking up his 16th technical foul.
the next Draymond.
I do believe he will play with a little less passion, you could say, just because he'll want to pick up another tag and get suspended once again, Dill. So I like the Lakers. Anthony Davis been averaging 32 points and 12 rebounds since LeBron went down with the ankle injury, Dill. That's just absurd numbers, Dill. He's showing people he's still a top 10 player the way he's been playing since LeBron went out. And this is a huge game. They win this game, they're in the play-in tournament as of now, Dill. So to me, it's a must-win game. So give me the Lakers on the money line, minus 104. Give me Anthony Davis, more than 28.5 points at minus 119, Dill. I've been smashing his points and rebounds combined total, if not just points over. I'm telling you right now, Anthony Davis has been on a tear. And then give me Tyrus Jones, Dill, over more than 15.5 points at minus 127. I understand it's a little chalky. Shop around. If you find it at 16 at minus 110 or even at plus money, by all means, I think Tyrus Jones finds his way 15 to 20 points.
I love it. I love it. There are some lines up for Wednesday's slate. You have anything off the top of your head, or are you going to wait a little bit?
Nah, Dill, let's give it right back at you. Give me Toronto +4. This Clippers team is 1-7 in their last 8 games still. I can't trust them, so give me Toronto +4 on the road. OKC, I'm going to lean them +13 on the road against the Suns, just because I think the Suns will let, especially in the fourth quarter, they pull their foot off the gas, and then the OKC could backdoor cover. No need to have Durant playing any more than 30+ minutes in this game. I'll lean OKC +13. And then give me the Cavs, money line minus 120 as of right now in Miami tomorrow. And then, if anything, tease Atlanta down with Boston. Boston lost 3 straight, lost 4 out of 5. I think it's not a must-win situation against Portland at home, but I think they're gonna go out there and win the game. Deal. Would I go out there and lay the 10 with Boston after these last 5 games? Absolutely not. But if you want to, people, tease Boston down to 4 points and then tease Atlanta from 7.5 to 3.5, and you'll have yourself a nice day.
Love it. Love it. Elvis, good luck on the hardwood. Let's go over to college basketball. Only had 2 plays today. Richmond -1.5. They beat Massachusetts 71-38. So, yeah, I cleared that. That was the first winner of the day. And I got Stephen F. Austin on the money line against Utah Tech tonight, 11:30, late night special on the West Coast. As for Wednesday, only a few lines up, but nothing I like concrete wise. I've been really limiting my plays only to like 2 to 4 plays. So I'll be sure to upload and tweet out all my plays in college. But yeah, that's about it. But before we get to our interview and WBC news, let me tell you guys about Viva Tequila. We are brought to you and presented by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market. Hands down. It is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf or an elderberry after a Saturday morning workout. Our flavors pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, here's our interview with Sean Spradling. All right, and we are back. Elvis, WBC going down. It was delayed a few years because of COVID, but we're back. And boy, I think this is gearing up to be one of the biggest ones, I think, our generation. I think the last one we saw was 2017. Before that, 2013. I think I was a little young. We were in high school. I only remember like the Netherlands knocking out the Dominican Republic a couple years ago. So that was good. But it seems like all these teams are really taking the high stakes. Like you got USA, loaded team, Dominican Republic, Korea, Venezuela. Like all these teams are really locked and loaded. And you know what it is? I love it. It's a sense of pride, international baseball. I think more people should start covering it like Sean as well. So it was great to get him on and get his knowledge about everything that's been going on in the World Baseball Classic. So games start actually tonight, 11 o'clock. You got Cuba taking on the Netherlands. And then the only lines up for Wednesday is Panama taking on Chinese Type A. So any of those two games you like or want to take a dabble in, because I know I'm probably going to take plus money with Panama already. China, they're the worst team in the tournament, I think.
Dill, I'm with you, Dill. I think you got to sprinkle something on Panama, especially at plus money. And then Cuba, is it worth the squeeze at minus 192? You know, I think Cuba's going to be stacked as well. Netherlands did shock DR a few years back, Dill. So it's going to be a tough one in that one. If anything, I do believe all these, especially in the first few games, that we're going to see elite pitching from all these countries.
100%.
So I'm a like, if you could get it, people, the first 5 under. I'm telling you right now, because you're going to see the best pitching in the world in this on display. You understand, some of these elite pitchers, they're not at spring training. They're out with their country, with these teams, and they're gonna go perform for their countries, people. So I will lean every game, every first game, first 5 under.
Yeah, they're gonna see the best pitching, and I think underrated Korea. I think their pitching staff could really give a lot of these powerhouse hitting teams some problems. You got Darvish, you got Shohei.
What I told you, I think you gotta sprinkle something on Korea to win it all. My personal opinion, you have to, Dill. They're stacked.
So there's 20 teams. Obviously, we discussed it with Sean, but Pool A, it will be taking place in Taiwan. You got Chinese Type A, you got the Netherlands, you got Cuba, you got Italy, and you got Panama. Not the most competitive group, to be honest. So my pick to win. So 2 teams advance to the quarterfinals. You got the winner of each pool, and then you got a runner-up. My pick is Cuba to win Pool A. You can't really get anything or any value on it. Cuba is plus 115. And then I think the Netherlands, I think they're going to be a really competitive team to get out of Pool A as well. But other than that, Pool B, they take place in Tokyo for the first few rounds. And we got Japan, you got Korea, you got Australia, you got China, and you got a first-time ever team, the Czech Republic. So that should be very interesting there. My teams to get out of there, obviously, it's no value. It's going to be Japan to win it, and then Korea to come in second. Japan, I'm looking at it right now. Japan to win Pool B, minus 550.
I'm seeing to qualify they are minus 20,000, and then to win, they're minus 550. So
it's ridiculous. And the next 2 pools are kind of the same thing. You got Pool C, which will take place in Phoenix, Arizona. You got United States of America. You got Mexico. You got Colombia, Canada, and another first time ever tournament team, Great Britain. So United States is clearly the best team in there, but don't sleep on Mexico. I think Mexico is going to have a really competitive team. United States minus 360 to win Pool C, so no really value there. And then I think the group of death and the best group will take place in Miami. You got Puerto Rico, you got Venezuela, you got Dominican Republic, and then another two brand new teams. You got Israel. Oh no, Israel's been there, in Nicaragua. So
don't sleep on Nicaragua now.
They got some legit players. They're not as bad as most people say. So I don't think Nicaragua's. They might not qualify because they're in the hardest group, but Nicaragua has some players. So shout out my boy Jimmy, man. Great people in Nicaragua. But obviously, I have Dominican Republic winning it. They're at minus 250. And it really tore me up because I think Venezuela and Puerto Rico, it's going to come down to those two teams. I just think with Venezuela, you got Jose Altuve, you got Ronald Acuna Jr., you got fucking just all-stars on that team.
It's stacked. Puerto Rico as well. I think it's going to come down to pitching, Dale. Because at the end, the batters can do so much. You know what I'm saying? Even if you bat 300, they're going to do so much. I think if the pitchers come out, throw a gem, 7-8 innings strong, Dale. Yeah. Whoever has the better pitching performance is going to win the game.
So right now, the two top teams from Pool D to qualify, obviously Dominican Republic at minus 1,200, and then you have Venezuela at minus 180. Puerto Rico's a close third at plus 105. I think it's going to come down to those two teams. I think they're going to come down to pitching. Honestly, I think Dominican Republic, this might be the best team ever assembled. We've always known.
And Vlad Guerrero just got hurt, so he's not even in the lineup.
Yeah, but good news, they do have Juan Soto. There was a chance Juan Soto, he came down with knee soreness as well, and he said, I'm going to give it a go. I don't know if the Padres like that, but DR likes that. They said, come on over, we'll play. So very interesting. Only 2 games up. Every day they'll have different odds. I'll be sure to post my plays. Elvis, he'll get in on the action as well. So just a few bits and bats over there for the World Baseball Classic. But Elvis, that's going to do it. Any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
No. Let's just have a positive day. Hopefully the Lakers can find themselves in a better position than they are today. Nets cover. Let's just have a positive day, people.
Yeah, hopefully we cover. Hopefully the Knicks make it 10 in a row. Hopefully
I don't know about that now.
That's going to do it for this Tuesday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsors, Prize Picks, Viva Tequila, Elvis, and myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. Thanks to Sean Spradling for jumping on with us. So if you could please follow our social media, Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, please subscribe, rate, give us a review. All that good stuff really helps the show grow. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.